Welcome to Douglas County News Exchange. I'm your host, Sabrina Hayes. This month's show is a blend of the past, present, and future. We will take a look back as we revisit some of the best segments of the last year. We will also tell you about some events and activities happening now, and we will help you fill up your calendar with fun things to do in the upcoming weeks. All of this and more today on Douglas County News Exchange. First, we take a look back at several segments that we think were pretty special. First, we will take a trip back to September of last year and check out the amazing garden of local resident Suzanne Wicks. Then you will see the presentation of a restored vehicle to the wife of a fallen firefighter, which originally aired in December of last year. There are some amazing selfless people who spend their weekends building access ramps for elderly and handicapped citizens in Douglas County, and we will look back at our feature of them from May of this year. Lastly, we will spend some time with Marjorie Stansel at a local public garden on Georgia's Butterfly Trail, which originally aired just a couple of months ago. Enjoy.
We started our garden after we moved here. We built this house back 15 years ago, and we started gardening then. I knew I wanted a garden. I just didn't have any idea of the expanse that it would turn into. The reason I started all of this, when we moved here, there was a lack of birds. I wanted them to come, and we planted it, and we have birds now. Visited Gail Woody's garden not long ago, and it was an inspiration to me that maybe we could have more hummingbirds here. And so I put more feeders out, and they have come to them. So this year must be a really good year for hummingbirds and butterflies because we've had a lot of both. We do have different areas, but I haven't titled them anything. Have different plants in our garden. We have some natural plants, and of course other things I've put in, a lot of hydrangeas. I can't even count the number in the variety of what we have here, but it's an ongoing process, and we just keep planning. When something doesn't work, we move it and plant something new. My garden has been on tour with the Hydrangea Festival 2 or 3 times. We had the hors d'oeuvres here back when Moonlight and Magnolias was going on before the Hydrangea Festival started. And I'm also a member of Town and Country Garden Club, and we've had many meetings out here in the yard. And I always look forward to people coming that enjoy gardening. We do have a few more plans. We have just recently cleared the side yard, and we had some trees taken down and stump grinding going on and that kind of thing. We're not really sure what we're gonna do yet with that area, but I have some ideas. My garden does die back in the winter. However, the winter time is when we're the most active out here. We have lots of trees, lots of leaves to rake and shred, and we are out here beginning the minute the leaves have fallen. We start raking, shredding, grooming, and it's an ongoing process, and we just try to get it all done before spring gets here so that when spring is here and everything pops out green, it then looks wonderful. The advice I would give anyone trying to start their own garden is to take it a section at a time. When we established this garden, it was not done overnight, and I did lots of studying. My husband and I did all of the landscaping here. We have planted every shrub, tree, bush. It can be done by the homeowner. We just have a passion for it. I read and study to see what plants will do well in which areas, and if it doesn't work, no big deal. Pull it out and start over. But just take it one small section at a time. I was overwhelmed when I first looked at my yard and trying to make a plan for this area. But then I read something somewhere that told me to just take a section, so I just kind of did tunnel vision so that I could see one section at a time, and it worked. I come out to the garden to be with God, and it's an inspiration to me. I love to see things grow, and a lot of worshiping goes on out here because I can see Him everywhere. So it is something to my heart. It's a passion for me.
December 12th, 2015, one of our firefighters succumbed to cancer. His name was Michael Fireball Schuler. He was just a joy to work with and be around. Just a great guy. I always had, you know, a great quick wit about him. Could diffuse situations, you know, when they got heated. Just a great guy. Like I say, he ended up succumbing to lung cancer. Before he passed, he had started restoring an old, I think it was a 1939 Plymouth pickup truck. The interesting thing about that truck, it's got a history here in Douglas County. Originally it was Ed Landers, who worked for the Sheriff's Department. And then he sold it to one of our firefighters, Vic Welch, who sold it to another firefighter, who eventually sold it to Fireball. So it had a pretty long line there. And so he had started trying to finish that. Once he was diagnosed with cancer, one of our firefighters came to me. He was a guy that Fireball and he had grown really close to. So Brian Lawrence came to me and said, "Chief, you think there's any way we could maybe finish the truck for him, you know?" And I thought it was a great idea. I contacted one of our local body shops. It's Affordable Body Shop, and I grew up next door to the owner of the body shop, so I kind of had a personal thing there. But I asked them, would they be interested in helping us with that? And they were all on board from day one. And so it took a little longer than we were all anticipating, and unfortunately Fireball passed before he got to see the finished product. But we presented the finished product to his wife Saturday night, and his mom and dad were there. And I don't think his dad is quit grinning yet. The truck is absolutely beautiful. Candy apple red on the bottom, ivory on the top. And on the driver's door, it's got the word Fireball, and on the passenger door, it's got his wife's name, Teresa. So lots of tears, lots of joy, and it was truly an honor to do that. So we just appreciate all the guys that donated money so that we could make that happen. We appreciate Affordable Body Shop for doing the work, and just appreciate being able to celebrate Fireball's life.
This is a takeoff from our River of Life Youth Ministry Program, which we started back in 2014.
River of Life is where kids comes into the church, they housed at the church, they fed, they take a sack lunch out with them every afternoon. They work on elder people's houses that can't afford to get it done, and it's all done to them at no cost to them.
And we started building some wheelchair ramps, and as a result of that, we have developed off with a ramp ministry. And since 2015, we have built 44 wheelchair ramps, mostly in Douglas, Paulding, and Carroll County, and we have even built one in Tarboro, North Carolina, just a few weeks ago. We have gone as far south as Peachtree City, and we built a 48-foot wheelchair ramp for a man down there that needed access out of his house. This particular one of the members of the build team right here, knows these people and contacted me, and I came out and made the preliminary drawings and decided which way we were going to go with it, which would be best for them. And we set up a build date. I go get the material and bring it out to the job site, and we usually start around 7:30, 8 o'clock, meet at the church, and head on out here. So the wife of the house has fallen a couple times on these steps out here, and we're going to eliminate that possibility where she won't be falling. She'll have handrails in which she can hold on to. We've been doing this, and I've been involved with it now for about 2 years, and I got heavily involved when I retired in 2015.
I have been qualified as a saw man. They put me on the saw every time. I cut all the lumber, and you know, it's just an ongoing ministry. It's hardly really to describe it.
We used to start in just a handful of us, and it would be, you know, we'd have to come back and finish during the week, but you know, we've been blessed. God's blessed us. He always supplies the means and the resources for each round.
God sends it to us. We go out and look at it. You know, we come back, we figure out what the material's going to cost, and if we got the money to do it with, we do it. If we ain't, we'll tell them we'll get back with them in a few days, and we back with them, you know, before the day that we show up. We tell them we're going to invade your property.
And we don't turn anybody away. If they can afford to pay it, we furnish all the labor. If they can't pay for all of it, we will pick up the difference. If they can't pay for any of it, we'll pay 100% of it. We have donors standing in the wings that are willing to pay 100% of the material cost, and we furnish all the labor. Anybody that needs a wheelchair ramp, through a friend, through themselves, or whatever, they can get in touch with me. They can reach me direct if they want on my cell phone at 770-377-8986. And any checks would be made out to New Covenant United Methodist Church, and just mark it for our wheelchair ramp ministry. Folks that can't afford it but are stranded in their house, we can give them the freedom to get out of the house and get back to a useful life again. We built one in Peachtree City back in January. The gentleman came outside and thanked us for the work that we had done, providing him the ramp, and his exact words were, "We gave him his freedom back." It's all worth it. It's a mission through the church, and the fellowship is fantastic, and we have a blast doing it.
Come on, Sugar Butt.
You got it.
I can do it.
We're in downtown Douglasville at the 8th Garden on the Butterfly Trail, the Douglas County Butterfly Trail. This garden was completed in April of this year with funds from Comcast and about 30 volunteers. We built this garden in one day and have added plants to it since then. We still have a few other things to do, but essentially the garden is up, it's blooming, and now all of the plants within the garden are marked with these special labels that we have. One label is for host plants. It's a larger label, and it says host plant and the name of the butterfly picture on the label. And the other label is just a simple label with the common name and the Latin name. And we are marking all of our gardens in Douglas County with these markers. The purpose of a butterfly garden, in addition to saving the butterflies, is to provide education to the public about what they can plant in their own gardens to help bring the butterflies to them. This particular garden was a garden which was to fulfill the Mayor's Monarch Pledge. The Mayor's Monarch Pledge was from a number of mayors across the United States who wanted to bring in more monarchs to save the monarchs. And in this garden we have a host plant called butterfly weed. That is one of the host plants for the monarch butterfly. The nectar plants in the garden are targeted to all butterflies, not just the monarchs, so you'll see other butterflies visiting this garden also. The garden is a summer garden essentially. Butterflies start coming in May. Some of the butterflies migrate. Others are in the ground. They've been in chrysalis throughout the winter, and they'll start coming out in April. First, when flowers are blooming. They must have the flowers blooming in order to do that. And they must have a host plant available because they don't just sip the nectar, they lay eggs. Between April and May and November, mid-November is probably the latest time you'll see butterflies in our gardens. We are also having a sign made to remind people that the gardens are essentially closed for migration starting in November. So when you come to a butterfly garden in November, don't expect to see a butterfly. The Butterfly Trail actually has a website on Douglas County happenings, but there's also brochures you can pick up at various sites around Douglasville, naming all 10 gardens on the Douglas County Butterfly Trail. This is the 8th completed garden on the trail. The 9th completed garden we just completed in early June is at the Douglas County History Museum. They have brochures on the trail, plus this is just a nice place to visit in downtown Douglasville.
Now on to some things that are happening right now. Did you know that if you are searching for a job, you can receive free help right here in Douglas County? The WorkSource bus visits the Douglas County Courthouse once a month and is equipped to help you search for a job, write a resume, or practice your interview skills. Here's more on the program and when it comes to town each month.
We are WorkSource Atlanta Regional. Basically, we want to share with everyone that we are here and we're available to provide services to ensure that we can get everyone out to look for work. Those who are not working right now, that we want to make sure that we can provide those services. So anyone who's seeking employment or retraining, come on out, we're right here. Yes, I am affiliated with the Atlanta Regional Commission. Atlanta Regional Commission is our overseer, and we are under that umbrella of Atlanta Regional Workforce Commission. Today we're at the Douglas County Courthouse, and we're going to be here the 4th Thursday of each month from 1:30 to 4 o'clock. Everyone is welcome to come out to the mobile unit to see what services that we offer. We offer job search assistance, resume writing, different workshops are also provided. So everyone is welcome to come out and see what we offer. When you walk in, we are equipped with 12 workstations, and so there are computers, so anyone can get on the computer and do job search, create a resume. We have a job coach inside that can assist them with resume writing and critiquing their resume, so that once they complete that resume, they'll have one that's employer ready. The services are free. The services are free to anyone that comes in and just basically doing basic career services, which is the job search and the resume writing. However, if anyone is interested in training and getting the funding for training, then at that point we will have to determine their eligibility and make sure that they're income eligible for different, for the funding. And so that's pretty much how we operate. All of the services are pretty much free. Our website is atlantaregional.org. And so if you want to know where the mobile unit is going to be located, you just go on to atlantaregional.org, click on the workforce and economy, and then you'll go down and you'll find Mobile Career Lab. And so that'll show you our current calendar and any calendars coming up for the next month.
September is a busy month for activities. The weather is starting to cool and people are spending more time outdoors. If you are looking for something to do, you may want to put September Saturdays on your calendar. Here is a promotional video that explains all there is to do at this wonderful annual event. Thanks so much for watching DCTV 23. If you need any additional information about what you saw on the show today, all you have to do is go to our website at celebratedouglascounty.com or email us at dctv23@co.douglas.ga.us. Be sure to check out all of our shows here on your source for local news and entertainment. DCTV 23 is always on at Comcast Channel 23, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and online at dctv23.com.